Watching Zmodo technical support videos. We're going to be doing a video on how to set up a smart kit and wireless cameras. What we're going to need to know before we start the process itself is you're going to look at the name of your home Wi-Fi network name, and then you have to make sure to write that down and the password, and it will be case sensitive. So if you have any capital letters or lowercase or spaces or dashes or dots or any of those things, you'll have to make sure to write that down accordingly. You also have to make sure that you download the app called Zmodo. You can find this at the iPhone store or the Google Play store if you use an Android or an iPhone. You want to go ahead and sign up with an account if you haven't already registered one already. It's going to request to sign up with either an email address or a phone number, and you can sign up with whichever you prefer. Usually email is preferred, but phone number is also fine. And then you want to make sure that the cameras are plugged in the same room as the router. For the initial setup, it's good to have them close by. That way range doesn't become an issue when we try to go to set it up. The last thing is you want to make sure that we are going to connect to a 2.4 gigahertz network. Sometimes you can look at the network name. If it has like 5G or 5 at the end, it's probably a 5G network. You want to make sure you use the other network, which will either have nothing at the end, or might say like 2 or 2.4. So you do want to make sure that you are going to connect to a 2.4 gigahertz network because it will not connect to a 5G network. So once you get to where you logged into the app, there might be a short tutorial. You just want to go through that real quickly, and then you should be at this screen once you're finished with that. Okay, so once we're at the home screen itself, what you want to go ahead and do is go to, what we're going to go ahead and do is basically add the smart kit to your account. So on the top right, you're going to see a plus sign. We're going to go ahead and click on that. We're going to go to the one that says Add Device. From there, we're going to go to the Wireless Device and Smart Kit. Then we want to go to Smart Kit. And then check mark. Now the thing about it is, it's only going to bring this up if you are connecting your phone to the same Wi-Fi network that you have physically connected your system to. So in the case of this one, we have our phone attached to the same one that we physically have an Ethernet cord running from our system to that router. So we're going to go ahead and select on that one. We're going to hit the check mark. From here, we get to name the device and then set an exclusive password for it. So we're going to call this one NVR. The time zone is optional. Well, usually it's pretty accurate though, but I mean you can switch it as well. But generally it's going to usually choose the one that you're currently in. And then the password is optional as well, as far as if you want to put it in there or not, but it does add a little extra bit of security to it, so it's usually recommended to do so. And then once you do that, you can go ahead and just hit finish. And we're just going to go ahead and show you how to add the cameras to the Zink process. You can also do it the way that I showed on there just a second ago. On the top right, there's a plus sign where you need to tap on it. We need to go to Add Device. In order to add the cameras itself, we're going to have to go to Zink. At this point, it'll request the number of devices that you're wanting to do. In this case, we're just going to be adding one on there. At this point, you're going to see a list of information here. And what it's basically telling us to do is connect to a network called ZMD_SAP. On the very bottom, there's going to be something that says tap here to begin setup. We're going to go ahead and tap on that. And what we want to do is, right now we're connected to Wi-Fi, is the name of the Wi-Fi network that we're currently attached to. And what we're waiting for is the ZMD_SAP to show up. And in this case you see it, though it has kind of a bad signal where it is. We'll give it just a moment here for it to show for us. Because sometimes if you don't see it immediately, sometimes it may take it a second for it to show back up again. Alright, so there it is with a strong signal. Now once you've connected a ZMD SAP, what you probably want to go ahead and do is click on wherever your home network is, in this case Wi-Fi for me. And we want to click on the one that says Forget. The reason for this is that sometimes if you connect to ZMD SAP, it does not have internet access. and some phones would prefer to have something that has internet access, so sometimes they may try to auto-connect back to it. Now once you've connected to the ZMD SAP, and like you see here, you do want to make sure that you go back to the app itself, and it's going to have you type in the name of your Wi-Fi network and the password associated with it. So at this point, we're going to have to type in the name of the network, and as you guys seen a moment ago, it was called Why the Fi. And then we're going to type in the password itself. And there's a little I to the right, and sometimes that can be much more useful for trying to see what we're typing in. Now I didn't make the password much different, but there is like a number 1 at the end of my password as compared to just the name of the network. As you can see, I did put in the capitalizations according to what it shows on the list of Wi-Fi networks. So in this particular scenario, the W, the T, and the H are all capital, and the rest of it's lowercase. In the password, I also have a number 1 at the end, so obviously yours will probably be different, so you just have to use it according to whatever you have on yours. At this point, we're going to go ahead and click on the check mark. Now what it's going to do is it's going to try to search for the camera that we currently have set up here. So we're going to give it just a few moments here to find that camera. And as you can see at this point, it did go ahead and bring up the name of the Wi-Fi network. Sorry, not the name of the Wi-Fi network, but the ID, as well as the time zone and the password. At this point, it's going to have you name the device itself, and then you can put an exclusive password on. Time zone is usually pretty accurate, so you can just leave the time zone on there. So at this point, we're just going to name it camera. And then password is optional, but it does add some more security to the camera. In this particular scenario, we're going to go ahead and just leave it. That should be fine otherwise. Okay, so once we have the NVR and the camera added to your account, what we can go and do at this point is go through a quick tutorial of how to view the cameras in the system itself. So we're going to see a couple icons towards the bottom here, also in the center. The center is for different types of motion alerts. So you have like away if you want all your alerts to come on. Home, it's kind of a mixture. You can also modify these as well. And then sleep as well. Sleep is basically just a way to turn off all alerts. Let's say if you want to go to bed and you don't want the thing to send you notifications while you're sleeping, you can just basically turn it off that way as well. At this point, we're going to go to the video first. Video is basically how you view the cameras. And you're going to see the NVR listed here. Right now it has 4 split ones because it's the 4-channel NVR. We do only have 1 camera attached to it right now though. And as you can see with the video, it's basically just laying on the table currently, and it's upside down right now, but I can pretty much just go through and mount it and change how it's facing right now. However, at this point, we're just going to go over some icons on the screen here. On the bottom left, you're going to see like a little recorder button. And with that recorder button, it's basically if you want to record what you're currently viewing on the screen itself. Now, if you do have an NVR that does recordings, or like it has a hard drive inside of it, you do want to make sure monitor is hooked up to it. And you want to format the hard drive when you first load it up. If you do that, then it's going to allow you to actually record on the NVR itself. This is basically just an option if you want to record whatever you're currently viewing. You can do that as well. The next one's a little camera icon. If you click on the little camera, you can basically take a screenshot of whatever you're looking at currently. There's a little microphone in the middle. With the current camera that I have, which is basically just like a bullet style camera, these ones don't have audio, so as you can see, it's just kind of grayed out because these don't have audio on it. It also doesn't have a speaker on it, so that's the reason why it's grayed out as well. Playback is in the bottom right. That's basically how you can play back the recordings off the unit itself, as well as recordings from the cloud. Then of course on the top right you have a gear, and that basically lets you go through different settings on the camera itself. And you can basically go in there and look at different settings. And we should have another video just going over different things that are on the app itself. Kind of like a tutorial of different settings you can go through. So I would definitely look out for that if you're wanting to find out a little bit more information about the app itself and what it can do. So once we go through there, we also have the alerts button, which just basically just gives you different alerts, what kind of motions that came up. You can basically go through there and look at it. The cloud is if you have it subscribed to the cloud. In this particular case, the unit's not. But if you do subscribe to it, then that kind of lets you mess with some settings in there as well. The lighting and environment and network are for something a little bit separate, or a little bit different. So we won't have to go over those necessarily. So I do hope you've enjoyed the video itself. If you did like it, you can look out for some more. We'll be coming up with more videos of different cameras and systems, and as I mentioned, we'll also have a tutorial for different functions within the app itself. If you have enjoyed it, definitely let us know, and thank you, and you have a good day.